What makes you happy? Happiness is an emotional response to an outcome. It's transactional in nature. It says that, well, if she or he says yes, I'll be happy then. If I win, I'll be happy. If I get the job, I'll be happy. It's an if and then transactional feeling that just can't be sustained for two reasons. One, life is full of circumstantial setbacks. We don't always win. She doesn't always say yes. We don't always get the job. And two, life keeps moving the needle on what makes us happy. Even if you get the job or the guy, the girl, or the win, immediately what made us happy, the needle moves. You see, happiness is result and outcome reliant. It depends on external factors because happiness is controlled by circumstances. That's what makes it so easy to torpedo. If happiness is what you want, you're going to be disappointed frequently. And even when you are happy, you'll find as you age, you don't even fully enjoy it because you know it's going to go away. In contrast, joy is not a response to a result or an outcome. Joy is result and outcome defiant. It depends on internal factors. The type of joy that Jesus offers us goes beyond our circumstances so deeply that our circumstances can't get to them. When we pursue happiness, it takes power from us. It can lead to addictions. It gives people power over us. Why? Because we're dependent on external and uncontrollable elements for our happiness. When we pursue joy, it leads to freedom, and it gives us power and strength to not only endure, but to overcome. In fact, the joy God gives us comes swinging. When life is batting us around, it comes out swinging. It's defiant in nature. That type of joy Jesus describes to his disciples in John 17. He prays to his Father in heaven just before he leaves this world, and he prays for us. He says, I pray that you may have the full measure of my joy within them. And one chapter earlier, he's speaking to his disciples and he says, you will rejoice and no one or anything will be able to take away your joy. He's speaking to men he knows are going to be persecuted. They're going to be robbed of everything they own. They're going to be tortured. They're even going to be put to death. And Jesus says, I'm giving you a joy now that can stand up to that. It can stand up to anything. How do you develop that level of joy? Well, the Apostle Paul, he writes to a church in Rome and he gives them what I call seeds of truth in Romans chapter 8, 28 to 30, that if we plant those seeds of truth in our hearts, they're going to grow a resilient and unconquerable joy. The first seed is all things happen to Christians. He says it this way in Romans 8. He says, and we know that in all things God works for good for those who love him. In other words, God doesn't hand out or pass out magic umbrellas to Christians that makes them immune to the hardships of life when we begin to follow him. He doesn't. He says all things. That means that all things can often visit even our own homes. If we understand this truth, when bad things happen to us, we won't be shocked. We won't be put off. We won't be surprised. The second seed is God is always working. Paul says it this way, and we know that in all things God works. Notice, Paul does not say things work together for good because they never work together on their own. Our world, our relationships, our health are always in the process of deteriorating. If anything is going well, it's because God is working. The third seed, God is working for the good. Paul says it this way, and we know in all things God works for the good of those who love him. Romans 8. Everything that happens in your life, he says, if you love him, is molding you, it's sculpting you, it's polishing you, it's shaping you into the image of his son Jesus. He's going to give you an incredible greatness. He's going to give you an incredible compassion. He's going to give you an incredible sensitivity. He's going to give you an incredible courage. That's why you can say with one of the great church reformers who said, come on, graves, come on, crosses, all these tough times in life, the lower you lay me, the higher you'll raise me. The more you try to destroy me, the more you will make me. Paul is not promising us better life circumstances. He's promising us a far better life.